friends, Jeff here with RV Optimizer, and today we're in Las Vegas at Van City RV, and one of the reasons why is they have a couple different leisure vans we want to talk about. Now you've seen maybe the inside layouts of the different leisures, but today we're going to focus on the outside and primarily focus on the differences and features and benefits, I guess, between the Mercedes chassis and the Ford chassis. And so I'm going to bring in an expert here. I'm going to bring in Nancy, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the differences that you should expect and what do you get when you pay for one versus the other. Okay, so I got Nancy here, and I got a couple leisure travel vans here, Mercedes and two of the Ford Transit chassis. Nancy, tell us a little bit about, if we're in the shopping mode, if you will, what should I know about one versus the other here?
So what I've run into in the question piece is, it's a Ford versus a Mercedes. So the next step to that is it's a gas-powered motor versus a diesel-powered motor. The other thing that you can clearly see if you stand back a little bit and look at each one of these units is there is really a size difference. So if you're a larger, tall person, 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", over 250 pounds, you're really going to have to sit in both of the cockpits to kind of decide what's going to work for you. And this is completely outside of what floor plan you're looking at, but what your driving experience is going to be. The other thing is pricing. You're going to notice anything on a Ford Transit chassis is going to be $10,000 to $15,000 less than anything on the Mercedes chassis. This doesn't cut into the interior of the box that's on the back. Those components, those products, that build is all the same. It doesn't make one nicer than the other. It's all about the branding on the vehicle or the chassis part of it. Both of them are going to give you economy. You're going to get a 15 to 18 miles per gallon. These are both heavy units. You're not going to get the standard that you see when you look at Car and Driver for these vehicles. The other thing that you might want to consider is all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. They are both 1-ton chassis. They both have 4 tires on the back axle. They are both rated at 11,030 for the leisure travel van and 11,033, I believe, for the leisure travel van Wonder. Excuse me, Unity 1130, Wonder 1133. So you have the same vehicle essentially, you just don't have the same size. So you got to ask yourself, do I fit in the cockpit? Do I feel comfortable driving that 6 hours to my next destination? And the real kicker is you can go to an automotive dealer, a Ford dealer, sit in a Transit cockpit. You're going to get the same feeling because it's the same size as you would going to a Mercedes-Benz dealer and sitting in a Mercedes-Benz van before you even get to choosing your floor plan.
Okay, so we're starting inside the Ford cockpit just to get an idea of some of the differences, then we're going to jump into the Mercedes. So Nancy's going to start it up, and you see here one of the things right away is the screen, the navigation is a little bit different than what we're going to see in the Mercedes.
So there is definitely a size difference. The other thing is, if it matters, you're using your key to start the Ford Transit, you're pushing a button to start the Sprinter. You have a much smaller stature in the cockpit. I'm a small woman. I'm 5'7", I weigh about 140. I feel very comfortable in a smaller space. If you are a gentleman that's 6'5" and you weigh 250 pounds, which is pretty average for that height, this is going to be a tough cookie. A lot of driving, you're in an RV. You're not driving to the grocery store and home. Now you're driving 6 hours. You're going to want to have the most comfort you can. The screen in the Ford Transit is more the size of your iPad, which is awful nice for some of us over 55 years old to be able to see it, as opposed to a 10-inch wide skinny screen in the Sprinter van, which is also a nice addition to the newer chassis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 cup holders. Cup holders are always essential when you have to have your cup of coffee and your water while traveling.
One thing I noticed, I think it's unique to leisure, is there's not a step up from the cockpit version to back into the to the coach itself, and that's on both of them, I think, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Other thing you might notice is there's no headbanger right here.
Yeah.
You're not having to duck down to crawl into your cockpit. You can walk straight up and get into your seat by moving your armrest.
I'm assuming both those seats do 180.
Both of these seats do swivel. The other thing is Leisure Travel Van hand stitches and does all the seat covers themselves. So they have the French stitching. They've also added a slight bit of extra cushion to the seats to make them a little bit more bearable on those 6-hour drives.
Yeah. Okay, so now we jumped into the Mercedes, and you definitely feel a little difference. I gotta say. Oh. And the push button to start it.
This is the new 2023 chassis that is available with the 2024 build. You get the 10-inch screen, which Mercedes introduced in the 2018 chassis. You have your hands-free on your steering wheel, just exactly like the Ford. There isn't a lot of bells and whistles as far as the driving experience. However, the one thing I didn't mention in the Ford was you have manual seats in the Ford. In the Mercedes-Benz, you have now graduated to power seats, heated seats. You're a lot taller. I don't know if it's really referenced in his video, the space that you have in the cockpit of the Mercedes-Benz. You can put the seats virtually far enough back that any fellow 6'5" and above is going to have no trouble, as well as any gal or fellow that is 5'2" is going to be able to reach the ground and reach the pedals with the seat pushed so far up that they're giving you that broad spectrum of size ability inside the cockpit itself.
The head part up here is
Correct.
Different.
Yeah, so they don't do anything to cut away the Mercedes-Benz headliner or chassis. Mercedes-Benz has some very strict rules on how any of the manufacturers can use their chassis, and that's part of the safety feature in the cage of this chassis itself. The other thing about leisure travel vans specifically, when they are finished with the overall build of the house, they are certified to do an alignment on the van after the build. Why I say after the build that way is all the weight is currently on this van now. They've had their wheels changed out to aluminum wheels because the van does not come with aluminum wheels. The wheels have been mounted and balanced, but they've actually done the alignment in-house before they ship the unit.
One of the things I noticed is the tires, even though they're supposed to be, I think, the same size, there's clearly a difference here in the overall profile and height of the tire, which probably adds a little bit to the overall height of the two vehicles. There's a few inches difference, but overall, that's just a quick comparison between these two very nice vehicles and the two options you have when you're looking at either Ford or Mercedes. Till next time, I hope all your trips are optimized.